Everyone knows Half-Life 2. Even if you've never played it, the Half-Life 3 memes have kept everyone talking about the series for over a decade now, despite there being no games released during that time. In all those discussions, it's easy to lose sight of what people actually liked about these games in the first place. Half-Life 2 is still a tightly put together experience, with engaging combat encounters, a fun physics engine, and a well-written story that takes place in a consistent world full of diverse locations and likeable characters. But there's one location that always sticks out to me whenever I think back to my first time playing Half-Life 2, and that's Ravenholm. I feel like I'm not alone in that as well, but what is it about this chapter? Well, let's take a deeper look.
That's the old passage to Ravenholm. We don't go there anymore.
This foreshadowing is what immediately gets your mind wandering when you reach this part of the game. Why don't they go there anymore? What's down that corridor? They even provide this slot in the door so you can look down at the eerie flickering light. It sets up a great mystery for the player. So you have the scrapyard sequence where you acquire the gravity gun, and then it's escape time, as Combine start raiding the place. On the way out, Eli once again reinforces that you shouldn't go through Ravenholm, but you get trapped in and have to go down that forbidden path. You blast your way through the filth and warning signs with your new toy and arrive in Ravenholm. The background storytelling shines in this chapter. It's clear when you arrive that the whole place has been shelled biological warfare style by the Combine, which is why the Resistance abandoned it. Obviously Ravenholm is a seriously creepy place, especially as you go through in the middle of the night. It makes sense though. Like I said, Half-Life 2 is set in a consistent world. During the airboat section, it's around sunset, and so by the time you get to Ravenholm, it's full-on spooky horror nighttime. And this chapter is nearly full-on horror. Walking around these rooms filled with blood and desiccated corpses and flies buzzing around is pretty tense. There's a gloriously sickly colour palette too. The seedy orange lights from burning fires contrast beautifully with the cyan moonlight from up above. The visuals and lighting build atmosphere beautifully in Ravenholm.
Woe to thee!
The atmosphere that the audio design lends here is also definitely worth pointing out. Ravenholm is almost devoid of music. Aside from the introductory synth piece, the background soundscape is basically made up of the wailing and groaning of distant zombies. At the forefront, the sound effects are allowed to shine. Zombies screaming, fires burning, the gravity gun humming, and the ever wonderful full auto SMG sound. And not to forget the explosions when you start launching barrels of propane tanks with the gravity gun. You only have the pistol, SMG and Magnum at this point, and there's hardly any ammo in Ravenholm. Before you get thrown the shotgun, blasting the generous explosives and saw blades with your gravity gun is the best way to get through the hordes. Not to mention being super fun to do. Cutting zombies in half, setting them on fire and blowing them across the roof. Ravenholm isn't just an effective horror level, it's also a playground, especially when you throw Grigori's traps into the equation. All in all, Ravenholm exists as a testament to Valve's intuitive game design, with their skillful foreshadowing through dialogue, background storytelling through, well, the background, and then letting the player loose into satisfying combat encounters based around a few simple mechanics, set within a characterful place. That's why people remember Ravenholm. If it's been a while since you played this level, I'd definitely recommend revisiting it with the Half-Life 2 update on. The updated lighting engine makes Ravenholm in particular really stand out visually, and elevates the experience. Anyway, thanks for watching. I love reading your comments, so do leave one if you've got something to say, and as always, peace.